Big Rab Show Podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products, providing everything you'd need to hit the circle or the big stage. So, check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show Podcast.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show Podcast. How are you, folks? Hope you're all keeping well and not crumbling under the pressure. What I mean by that is that I think everybody right now is stressed out with all sorts of Christmas shopping and preparing for the holidays. It's a very stressful time. So hopefully, by listening to this week's podcast, we'll manage to entertain you, but also give you a little bit of space where you can chill out, you know, lay on the sofa or whatever and listen to the Rab Show for a bit and get away from all of the holiday pressure, I guess. But yeah, before we get into all of that, of course, let's go through our introductions. If this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, well, you are welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk. We reflect everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or indeed our bread and butter, which is competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the great Highland bagpipe and its people. And yeah, like every other podcast out there, yeah, we do have a Patreon. I know, it's kind of a cliche, isn't it, by this point? But yeah, we've had our Patreon faithful now supporting our show for a good number of years. And yeah, now every other podcast out there has one, so we thought, why not? So yes, there's a link in your show notes right now where you can go and click on support and be part of the Patreon faithful. Yeah, and every click of support really does help keep the wheels turning here at the Big Rab Show, honestly. And yeah, as by way of a thank you to our Patreon faithful, you get treated to loads of juicy extras. Yeah, you get our weekly Fuse FM Ballymoney radio show available for download every single week. So if you do happen to miss it live on a Tuesday night, well, you can download it on a Wednesday and take it with you and listen to it any time at a time that suits you. Plus, we have episodes of Big Rab Show Plus. We have, yeah, all sorts of like backstagey stuff, exclusive performances and interviews that have never seen the light of day. There's a lot of cool stuff back there for Patreon subscribers. So yeah, do consider clicking on support. You'll be helping your own wee favourite bagpiping pod keep producing episodes, but also you'll get your mitts on all of those extras. There you go. All right, now this week's episode is a little bit different. Honestly, we took an opportunity to catch up with all of the Big Rab Show team and just talk about 2025. Yeah, we're at the point now where us and the Big Rab Show team, where we're going to take a bit of a step back, you know, and get a little bit of a break over the course of the holidays. But yeah, we will definitely be keeping you well enough entertained over this next few weeks. Now, you might think, Rab's going to be on holidays, there's no podcasts. Well, no. The complete opposite, if anything. We have some huge episodes that are going to be dropping over the next 2-3 weeks. Big interviews, some big hard-hitting topics, and a lot of real good information. Yeah, we've got a lot of great shows in front of us. But, yeah, for this one, we just thought, why not be a bit melancholy? We're going to look back over 2025 and just look at the year that was. And, yeah, I invited all of the Big Rab Show team to join me on one big Zoom call, and we'll run through all of it. So, as a result, we don't have any listener mail this week, or we don't have any weekly drone. For shame, I know. But JD will join us later on in the show. But you can send us in your listener mail, of course. That email address is always bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. And you can let us know your thoughts and opinions, warts and all. And yeah, I have to say, for listener mail, we've got a whole dose of stuff lined up for January already. It's kind of crazy. We have so many exciting interviews and stories to bring in early 2026. I'm looking forward to getting into it. Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing a lot of logistical work behind the scenes, and, yeah, we're setting up future episodes. So for everyone who has emailed us, we have received your correspondence, and we are, hopefully going to get back to you shortly. So we are in the process. But for now, the Rab Show team is going to take a bit of a step back And, spend some time with friends and family and hopefully get some practice done over the next few weeks. Yeah, I don't know. In between Christmas shopping and all of that stuff, it's kind of crazy to try and get time for practice, isn't it? But, manage it I shall. Indeed. Also, let's give a bit of a plug to Weekly Drawn. We do have a few Weekly Drawns on the shelf, actually, and we will be bringing those to a future show, of course, when January rolls around in 2026. Do keep your Weekly Drawns coming in. JD is continuing to record them, and we are placing them on the shelf, as I say, and we'll present those in a future episode. I do believe there's a lot to get into with Weekly Drawn. Yeah, tons of rumors and hearsay and all of that stuff, plus tons of exciting news to talk about as well. And I dare say we'll get a lot of listener mail and weekly drones, and we'll get into all of that in 2026. Early 26. Yeah. All right. Well, as for this week's episode, we're just going to spend our time and look back over 2025, the year that was. So there will be no news and updates, all that stuff, but that will be on a future show where we will be playing catch up. And I already know we have a lot to catch up on already. Yes, I've seen some of the news that's dropped this past week, and it's been kind of crazy, hasn't it? We've a lot to unpack there. And we're going to spend some time over the holidays and prepare, and I guess do it all justice whenever we return again in January after the break. So, in light of all of that, I hope that is by way of an introduction to the Big Rab Show Pod. Don't forget to visit our website, thebigrabshow.com. There is a button at the top of the page that says Weekly Drone. You can let us know your thoughts on everything that's happened this past week, or the week before, or any topic that we've approached here on the Big Rab Show Pod. It doesn't just have to be within this past year, but even, I don't know, this past 5-6 years, I guess. Go for it. Yeah, send us in Weekly Drones. Let's face it, we're all going to get a bit of time over the holidays, so I do expect to see some drones on the shelf. Yeah. Visit the website, bigrabshow.com, and you can drop us in your weekly drone. There you are. All right, folks, I think that's it by way of an introduction. Time to get into this week's episode good and proper. So I think I'll take myself a wee break at this point, and then we'll invite all the Big Rab Show team to say hello. Ever wish you had a piping teacher on call 24/7? Well, now you do. Introducing the Interactive Player, a game-changing new practice tool at Dojo University. Play along with world champion pipers while the notes on your sheet music light up in time. Loop tricky phrases, slow down tough sections, zoom in to focus, and build speed automatically. It's like having a teacher right in your practice room, showing you how to master every tune at your own pace. So, sign up for a free trial today at pipersdojo.com and start learning smarter with Dojo U's Interactive Player.
Kingdom Thistle Pipe Band Supplies for all your pipe band and marching band needs. Supplying everything from uniforms and instruments to custom-designed bass drum heads. They offer it all. Not forgetting their exclusive Kingdom Ghillie Brogues and George Boots, crafted by bands for bands. Kingdom Thistle provides expert product advice and an industry-leading drum refurbishment service to keep your equipment in top-class condition. Also, shipping worldwide. So, stop by their store in Fife or visit them online at kingdomthistle.com for all your pipe band and marching needs.
All right, so the title of this week's show, and by way of introduction, we're going to be reviewing 2025. It's been quite a big year, I think, for the bagpiping world, but more specifically for ourselves here on the Big Rab Show. It's been, I don't know, one of our busiest years to date, I would argue. In light of that, we've invited all of the Big Rab Show team along just to have a bit of a yarn, to have a conversation and talk about the highlights and possibly some lowlights of 2025. So, I'm going to go around the room first of all. Who have joining us? First of all, we have Ewan. How you doing, Ewan?
How you doing, Rob? Grand, thank you.
You're a brand new team member to the Rab Show team this year.
I am, yes. I was always at a loose end, and I just thought, I'm going to go back to the around some of the bands, and I'd see the YouTube video where he's like, "We could do with people, if you want to help." And I thought, well, I'm going to be there. I'm not playing anymore, so yeah.
There you go. So you decided to pick up a camera and film a few bands for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Well, you've done an outstanding job because as I'm in the circle playing, you're actually standing there filming me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's be honest here. Sometimes, Corby's Corby was a disaster for me. So yeah.
But the trials and tribulations of being a team member. It's another story in itself. Stuart Campbell is with us, and Stuart, I think you've experienced it all at this point as a Rab Show team member, mate.
Yes, good, bad, and the ugly. Recording all day, and then you find you've got absolutely nothing on the memory card. So there you go.
There's
We've all been there.
As heartbreaking as that. Like, you stand in the lashing rain filming all day, and you find the memory card's corrupt, and you lose everything.
Gone.
So at that point, you just get a can of Iron Brew and forget about it. That's about the height of it. But we also have a colleague of yours joining us here on the conversation. We have Cammy Wilson. What about you, Cammy? You well?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks, Rab. Just here to be a sidewinder to Stuart, to be honest. Just excited to be a part of it, really, and support the team.
Indeed, thank you. Well, we haven't put you to much work this year, but you did represent us at something really quite special. So we'll talk about that. So
absolutely.
Not officially a team member on paper and all that jazz, but we'd love to have you on board for this one, mate. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we also have a brand new team member that we're going to introduce to everyone listening right now. Siobhan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, thank you. So I am from South Africa, and I'll be joining to just show the world this little exciting pipe band scene that we have so far away from the heart of pipe band, which is just crazy to think about. But I'm very excited to share it with everyone there and with the world.
I can't wait for it. For the longest time, we've been wanting to get coverage from the South African scene, but we've been found it very difficult. So, hi, it's brilliant that you've reached out. So, to have a camera there and film some of the action, we're really looking forward to that, Siobhan.
Yeah, I can't wait. From watching it, and we listen to your podcast in South Africa, and to actually now have the opportunity to be on it, it's going to be insane. And just showcase what we have here. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
So my weird Northern Irish accent, you do understand it? Okay, do I need subtitles or that? Whenever no? Okay. Cool.
Mine, I'm worried you might not understand me.
Not a bit. We're going to fly on. I do have a bit of a run order here. 2025, I've picked out some of the certain highlights for ourselves on the Big Rab Show. And as I mentioned at the beginning there, it has been such a busy year. Now, Stuart, you were there from the beginning of the year when we were planning all of this, and we were looking at 2025 and thinking, how the heck are we going to cover all of this? There was so much already planned, even by January of 2025, wasn't there?
Yeah, you're getting stuff in the calendar and getting stuff covered. Taking time off work and obviously being at the contests to try and get the best coverage that we can.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult, and it's a huge logistical exercise as well, trying to get people in the right place, the right time, all of it. So whenever we got new team members like Ewan and Siobhan and others who reached out and said, "Hi, we can help," it honestly was such a huge bonus. So Ewan, whenever you had reached out to yourselves and we said, "Oh, thank goodness you're going to this contest, right, here you go," and we threw you in at the deep end, how did you find it?
I was I suppose like a rabbit in the headlights because I'm thinking, well, I've not really met the team, so I don't know how you want things to be done, and I didn't even know how big the team were. So I thought, is there 10 guys, is there 4 guys, and it's like, do we cover each grade? What do we do? And as you said, just do what you can when you can, and it kind of helps you relax. But but like I said, a couple of contests, and I thought, well, because I live in the southeast of Scotland, I'm right on the border. I'm like, so I'm up, 4 hours to me, I can be down almost halfway to London, so I can cover some of the English ones. Like I said, I had the problem with Corby was a disaster for me. It was 37 degrees and I had the 3 cameras set up. I had all the microphones set up. And when that SD card had melted in there and I had no audio. That was just...
Yeah, it's awful. It happens, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things I'm going to put across, you know, the amount of planning and things that we do for our coverage for each season. We do our best, but we are not a professional production company. You know, we haven't got satellite trucks, all that stuff. You know, so we're fans and we're doing the best we can here. Yeah, that's it. So whenever an SD card does melt on us, or we get absolutely soaked in the rain and everything's goosed, it happens. And I don't know. Maybe someday one of us will win the lotto and we'll invest in a huge production company, and then, I don't know, the world will be our oyster. Yeah. So I want to get into one of the biggest highlights of the year, and I think this will come as no surprise. Looking at 2025, it has to be the nomination for the Scots Trad Music Awards, which, honest to goodness, I thought was never, ever going to happen again. I thought lightning has already struck. That's it. We didn't win. We can step away and say, hey, wasn't that cool? We done that thing. But it happened again, and we were nominated again. And I don't know, Stuart, Cammy, you were the two guys who were nominated on the team to go and represent us at the Rab Show at the Trads. So tell us about your experience. Stuart, I'm going to start with yourself, man. How did you find it?
A fantastic experience. A bit of we spoke about imposter syndrome. You've got all these nominated for in the media up against BBC productions, like you say. They have the equipment.
Yeah,
we're just guys on the ground with a phone, but they've got the full production. So
yeah, that's it.
But apart from that, it was a fantastic event. The music was incredible, and the people around you were incredible as well.
They're all dead friendly, aren't they? Like,
yes,
folks in the trad scene are like dead chatty and really friendly.
Yes, they're very friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask about the after party in a minute or two, because that's the stuff that people don't see. But Cammy, you were also there, as you say, as Stuart's sidekick at the event, and you were sort of just sidewinded into this.
Yeah, definitely. It just came as it started off as a bit of a joke, actually. If there's a spare ticket to the Trads, then I'm up for it. I was a long-term supporter of the show and enjoy it, but the night itself was fantastic. Like Stu said, there is a little bit of imposter syndrome, but for the show to even be nominated and it's not in the same category, but as the same place as, your likes of Scary Vor and Nori and things like that. There's the massive names within the trad scene. It's a win in itself for pipe bands, to be honest.
Absolutely.
And obviously the Sky winning band of the year as well. That was fantastic. Well deserved.
The Sky.
Absolutely.
Cheer, yeah.
Yeah, they've nailed it. They've had a great year. And all the other nominated bands as well, like Kelly High School and stuff. It was just great for pipe bands, for the competitive scene of pipe bands, certainly to be represented in a manner amongst these heavy hitters of traditional music. And yeah, the night was absolutely fantastic. We were clearly out of our tax bracket a little bit, but we certainly enjoyed ourselves. So we're very honoured to be able to represent the team, irrespective of the result.
And thank you for going. But yeah, I know people think that is dead cheesy whenever we say that. Like, being nominated, being in the room, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? And to represent the piping world in such a way, honestly, is a huge honour. So to everyone who did send in nominations for us, thank you. For those of you who did vote for us also, thank you. Yes, we didn't get enough votes. We didn't win. But to be in the conversation at the same time was just epic. Yeah. And to make Stuart and Cammy feel very uncomfortable in a room full of bigwigs was, brilliant. So obviously we can now go back and watch the Trads. The whole thing was all put up there on the BBC. It was all very glitzy, very glamorous. But whenever the cameras get switched off, that's when the fun starts. Because I remember the after party from whenever I went there in Dundee in 2022. And there's some things there that I'd probably never say on air, but are so entertaining and would make me laugh till the cows come home. So, Stuart, have you any stories about the after party? What was your experience there?
We went into the bar. There was a setup there, but there was no group. There was nobody there.
Right.
So myself and Cammy, we sat down I mean, we had a couple of pints, and again, I think we might have been in the wrong room. But they had it all set up, microphones, speakers, and we sat and waited for about 5-10 minutes and thinking, are we in the right room?
There's nothing happening here. What's going on?
There's nothing happening here. So
there you go. Odd. But then did it all kick off?
It must have done, because I think at that point we decided, you know what, I don't know what's happening. So I think we decided just to drink up and get ourselves up the road. Unfortunately,
so you guys behaved yourselves.
We did, yeah.
Very much so, sadly. But I think there was some sort of an after Keeley, and there was things getting set up and whatever. But this place was still bouncing. Don't get me wrong; it was fantastic. There was still tunes being set up and whatever. There was loads of folk around. But for us, we were relatively sensible and got ourselves back to the hotel. And
a couple of Ribenas and back home again.
Yeah,
wow.
That's it. That's all it was. Very sensible, representing the pipe band world in a dignified manner. Doesn't happen very often.
Oh, man. Well, it was... All right, I'm going to tell a wee bit of the story. I'm not going to tell the full story, but it was me and the Inverary lads who got nominated for Band of the Year, I think. I think they won it then as well. And yes, as Ross Miller was coming back to the hotel, I was getting my breakfast. So that should tell you that the party sort of ran on for a little while. And Ross was a little bit worse for wear. Mind you, so was I. But anyway, had to be done. But honestly, I think that being nominated for the Trads, I know we're sort of waxing lyrical now at this point, but it is such a huge event. I don't know, to try and put the gravity across as how big the Trads are. They really are kind of like the Oscars of the Trad music scene. Like, it is that glitzy, you know? So yeah, to even be in the conversation, just fantastic. So, Stuart, I'm going to leave you with a question for the Trads. Did you have to explain much to people? You know, whenever I found that, I was doing that all the time. Oh, who are you? I said, Rab from the Big Rab Show. And then the next question, what's that?
Exactly. Yes. The folk that were sitting on the table, they went, who?
Who's what?
Here on representing the Big Rab Show, and what's the Big Rab Show? And it's the pipe band scene podcast.
There you go.
So that conversation was I had that a few times throughout the night.
Yeah,
definitely.
And what is it? Where do I find you?
Yeah, exactly. What is it? What is it again? Yeah.
Well, hi, there you go. A huge shout out to Stuart and Cammy both. Thank you so much for joining us on the Trads there and representing Team Rab. That was brilliant. So will we be back again? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what 2026 brings.
Ready to take your playing to the next level? Say hello to the ES Session Chanter, the ultimate practice chanter designed for versatility and durability. Crafted from stainless steel and aluminium, the chanter comes equipped for both an A stem and a B flat stem, giving you the freedom to play along with any instrument, anytime, anywhere. Whether at a band practice or a trad session, the ES Session Chanter keeps pace with your creativity. Included with the chanter is the custom carbon carry case, the perfect addition to this compact and tactile instrument. To get yours, head to essessionchanter.co.uk.
Marchify, the brand new home of Flam 5 drumming. Check out their brand new Strike bagpipe case, inspired by their colourful, popular and reliable Flam 5 drum cases. The Strike bagpipe case combines durability, style and practicality, protecting every movement. Shop now at marchify.co.uk with worldwide shipping available. Marchify, every movement protected. We need to talk about our World Championship coverage. And I just see that JD has joined us all the way from the United States. JD Ingram, the voice of Weekly Drone. JD, I don't know if you can hear me, mate, but you've been insanely busy this last while. How's things been with you?
I'm surviving. I'm actually fighting a bit of a cold right now, which is why I'm sitting on that last drone.
Oh, no.
Because my voice is kind of raspy.
I
But
see.
yeah, no, I've like every night, I feel like I'm knocking out one or two drones every night.
It's been insane. Since the world's wrapped up, it's been drone after drone, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surviving.
There's been a lot. And Weekly Drone, I think, is one of our favorite feature here on the Rab Show, but it's also one of our worst as well, because we do have to employ a lot of editorial sort of wisdom there. You know, a lot of the Weekly Drones, because they're anonymous, can like outright jump out and attack someone, you know, point fingers and all that sort of stuff. Oh, blame this person, this happened. All of that. So for every Weekly Drone that you record, there is a little bit of editorial in there, I guess. Yeah. But no, thank you, JD, for all the work that you're doing. And you should put that husky voice to use, man. You should get a lot more drones down now. Yeah. There you go.
I'll give it a shot. I fall into a coughing fit like every 10 minutes. So the last one I recorded, I managed to get it done in 2 takes, but
I see. But you could do that. What do you call that thing that used to be on the telly? The Love Doctor. Hey, everybody, let's talk about MSRs or something like that. Yeah. JD, I'll not take the hand out of you anymore, mate. But I need to talk about the World Championship coverage that we had. One of our biggest episodes that we do every year is our World's Prediction Show. And some of us got it right, some of us not so much.
Stuff the Rab got wrong.
Yeah. Stuart, what was your experience with the world's predictions this year? I can't remember how your predictions went this year.
I did not too bad, but there was some that were just way out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Completely wrong. So the band showed me wrong, so there you go.
There you go. But, you know, the thing about the World's Prediction Show, it is our biggest one that we do every year. But people take it so seriously as well. You know, they're like, oh, they've predicted us to win and all of that. Like, no, it's really not that serious. We're just kind of naming bands that we're excited to see, really. That's the crux of it, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for everyone that we didn't mention and got incredibly upset and sent us in some hater mail, it has been put on the shelf. We will have an episode of hater mail incoming next year. Whoa. You like that? Yeah. There's been a lot of tasty hate mail after the Rab Show Awards. We'll get into that too. But speaking of our World Championship coverage, one of the things that I've been doing at the Worlds this past couple of years now is the on-the-ground reports. Now, Cammy, I don't know if you've managed to listen to any of these, where I kind of walk around the Worlds with a microphone. But how do you find listening to those?
Yeah, they're actually fantastic. For somebody, obviously, I run with Livingston Strathclyde. I don't get the chance necessarily on the day to get round, especially on days that we have a qualifier and potentially a final. So it's quite busy. And we've got a grade 4 band that we support. So to have like something to go back on, and because there's almost no chance of getting to hear the grade 1 on the day. Obviously, you can listen to the BBC recordings from actually in the circle, but those tune-up times, like I spent on Friday, I don't go to the arena. I just stand in final tuning or around final tuning. That's where I spend my time. So to have something to go back to refer to and just sticking on the car or whatever and just enjoy it, just almost like you were there, even though you were there, but you were doing your own thing. As from a competitor standpoint, and then obviously for guys that are further afield and can't get to the Worlds, it's pretty exciting just to be like, there's a feeling that you're almost there. You're like walking around with you, just seeing what's going on. So for me as a competitor, that's not having that time to go back and listen to it and those grade 1 guys in the final tuning and stuff. That's quite cool for me.
There you go. It's like attending the Worlds all over again.
It really is. It's like it's like reliving it. Not that I wanted to relive this year's Worlds, but you know, I enjoyed the grade 1 anyway.
There you go. So, Siobhan, obviously being from South Africa, and you say a bunch of people actually listen to the show, shows like our World Championship kind of on-the-ground report things, does it work? Do you find that?
Yes, no, definitely. I mean, it's cool. I mean, like as Cammy just said, that we don't necessarily get the opportunity to go to the World, and there's very few that bring it back to us and they go, you won't believe how well they play over there and the talent and the this and the that. But to actually have you walking around and like explaining everything and like just listening to those bands, it's so key for us to have something like that we can actually experience that and listen and see how they do things over there.
There you go. Yes, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. JD, even for yourself, mate, I think you've listened to quite a few of the on-the-ground reports now from not just the Worlds, but would you be a fan of the on-the-ground sort of format?
It depends on the event, I think, for me. Some of the events are more engaging than others. So,
I see. Yeah. So,
like the Worlds, I think, is one that, especially the overseas crew, we all hear about, we all kind of dream of going to. And so that's an exciting one. But
if I'm doing an
if
on-the-ground
it was like
report
every single
Antrim
event in the UK, then some of those can get to be, I think, a bit repetitive.
I see. That's good. I always love to have a bit of criticism. Thank you, Jetty. But yeah, I don't know. It's been one of those formats that I've always wondered, did it ever work? Because I'm rubbish at doing them, I think. I could be standing listening to Bog Hall and I hold a mic at them and go, hey, listen to these guys. And then I'm looking and I can hear a band from over here and I go, oh, there's Scottish Power. And I'm away. And I just can't resist. And I get drawn from band to band to band. And it happens so much. And I'm thinking, am I getting enough of Bog Hall right now? Am I getting enough of Field Marshal? Or am I, should I like pinball around all the different bands as I do? I don't know. Is that one of the things that I should really concentrate on? Stand there for a bit longer? Ian, what are your thoughts, ma'am?
I quite like the manic situation. I mean, I got to witness you firsthand in this year. Where you're there, but to me, that makes it more entertaining because you're only getting that. Even if you're only getting a minute of that band, and as you say, you're hearing another band, so you're away. So and it's good to hear that, because it's you're for a listener, it's almost like you're feeling that you are there. And there's and that's and when you bump into people, they're like, how you doing? To hear the crack, because it's like, you're experiencing what it's like on the day.
It's
and yes,
real time,
we know that it's streamed, or the final streamed on the Saturday. So so you're getting the snippets of the bands on the Friday, Saturday morning, then you're getting to see the whole thing. Oh, and you've got the playback. So, so you're not really, I don't think anybody's really missing anything out, but it's the fun element of it,
That's it. Yeah. Well, if anything, Siobhan, I bumped into you at the World with a microphone. I was going, hey, do you fancy a chat in the show? And just like shoved a microphone in your face.
Yes, I mean, just like that alone, so how I experienced the Worlds is like a kid in a candy store. That band's playing. Oh, that one's also playing. And then the conversations actually, I think that's what is like the cherry on top, because it really does. That's how the Worlds is. You listen to that band, you run over to that band. Oh, here's someone have a chat. So exactly, I love the format. I think it was awesome. And to hear it back, it was like I was reliving it.
Brilliant. I'd love to hear that. But JD, I do take your criticism. I do understand that perhaps we'll keep her on the grounds now to maybe more major championships when there's a bit more going on. A lot of the minors can be a bit slower, and we're talking more about Portaloos and the price of burgers and stuff like that. Although we do that with the Worlds too, Anyway, and Kama, you mentioned it well about having a qualifying and then possibly a final to play in. That happened to me this year with Tully Lagan. I had to qualify in the morning and I thought, okay, that's it. Pipes back in the box. Let's make a podcast. And then we ended up qualifying. And it's, right. Get the pipes out again. So it turned out to be a whole thing. So the on-the-ground reports are quite challenging to make, but it's good to know that, the challenge is worth it. The juice is worth the squeeze. Is that what they say? There you go. Well, we're on the topic of the Worlds, the big one, of course. But one of the big things that happened to us during Worlds Week is, of course, Piping Live. And to have the Big Rab Show there, not once, but twice, is just ridiculous. I'm still pinching myself at this one. 2 Big Rab Show lives at Piping Live. I don't know. You were there for both, I think, weren't you, at Piping Live? What are your thoughts on our events at this year's festival?
Phenomenal. Apart from the heat, the sauna in that tent.
Yeah.
That
was intense.
Yeah, totally. And to see many people that come, that actually come and watch in the performances.
Yeah.
It was good, but just the heat was just,
It was nuts. Yeah. And I felt really bad for everyone who had to perform in that.
Absolutely.
We were cracking jokes as we went. Oh, have you ever played bagpipes in a sauna?
Yeah, it's true enough. It's true enough. Yeah. But I mean, the performances were just outstanding.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely outstanding. Yeah.
I can't believe that we managed to get some of the performances that we did,
Yeah.
given the circumstances of the conditions.
Absolutely.
Yikes. But yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen the videos and listens to those pods, do go back. They are up there now on our YouTube channel and on the podcast as well. You can go and listen back. Stuart, have you watched back at any of the video clips yet yourself? Have you got any particular highlights from both live events from Rab Show Live?
My highlight is the harness cam.
Oh, from the Big Rab Show pipe band.
Yeah, the pipe band that we put together. Yeah, the harness cam. It was just an idea that I had.
Yeah.
Put the camera on and see what happens. It turned out really well. Yeah.
It did. Now, tell us about the harness cam, right? It's this wee thing that you can kind of put on your harness, but someone was controlling it with like a joystick or something?
No, it connects to the phone. So someone, Chloe, she could put the camera. She could move the camera without me having to worry about it, so I can concentrate on playing. So yeah, I really enjoyed that video.
Is that not really distracting though? Like you were playing away and this camera's on your chest going whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, not really. No. I was concentrating on your foot, making sure we got the beat right.
I see. Oh man, that was my first sort of attempt at being a pipe major.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Cammy, I will never make a pipe major, mate. I don't know how.
I don't know either before you even say it. I just rock up. I love it. But yeah, Stuart is a big fan of the harness GoPro. He's had a few on it, contests and stuff. It's fantastic, actually. It's a really unique viewpoint of pipe bands.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
To see from it's very seldom you see inside the circle. So it's quite interesting, actually.
There you go. Yeah. So no, I don't know. That is a real fun video, that one. I put it up uncut as well because there is a little bit of the video where the camera kind of swings around and you get a lovely shot of it up your nose. So
yeah, that's correct.
Thank you, Chloe. That was great.
Yeah, thanks, Chloe.
Up close personal was Church nose. Brilliant. But very, very entertaining. But yeah, for those of you who haven't seen the video, go back, have a watch of both of them. They're just blistering. Yeah. Siobhan, did you make it to either of the live events yourself? You were incredibly busy over Pipe and Live Week, though.
No, unfortunately, I didn't. This was my first Worlds, so it was very much pipe band, practice.
Yeah,
But I mean, I did hear from a few of our family friends and friends that did go that it was just insane.
There you go. Yes, it was good. So, hi, who knows if you are back in Glasgow again? Well, you're more than welcome if we are back on stage again. Here's hoping. Anyway, yeah. So, well, Rab Show Live is behind us. Now, I mentioned them earlier about getting a dose of hate mail and stuff. We need to talk about the 2025 Big Rab Show Awards. Where's my sound effect? Yeah, we need that. Big Rab Show Awards this past year were a roaring success on one hand, but also a massive crashing disaster on another hand. Because, yeah, for everyone who was pleased to get their award, there was an equal measure of those who were displeased. Let's say that. So, JD, you were privy to a good number of the weekly drones, actually, that came in following the Big Rab Show Awards. What was your feeling on how they were received this year?
I mean, the common complaint just seemed to be that the program as a whole is too Northern Ireland focused. But
yeah,
I mean, obviously being based in Northern Ireland and a lot of your viewership coming from Northern Ireland, it's like if I was at a grocery store and interviewing people about stuff that is sold at that grocery store, obviously most of the people I interview are going to be interested in the things sold at that specific store.
There you go.
And you're not going to be talking about stuff that's sold at a different store. So like,
yeah,
because of who's listening to the program, you're kind of, it's going to be naturally biased towards Northern Ireland a little bit.
A little bit.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We did get quite a number of international nominees and stuff in that. But whenever it came to the vote, and it's the vote that's the important thing, like we have no control over the nominees. You guys can nominate anyone for the Rab Show Awards, and same goes for the voting too. We don't decide the winners. I don't know where there is this perception that we have a panel of esteemed judges who choose the beard of the year, Stuart.
Well, if I was on the panel, I would have won it.
There you go. See, exactly. But instead it went to Gus Sickert, who's won it so many years in a row now. I think he put up a post about it to say how many times he's won it now, which is kind of ridiculous. Fair play to him, anyway. But that shows that we have zero control over it. But Ewan, what are your thoughts, mate, on the Big Rab Show Awards and how they were received this year?
I have to admit with JD there, I think basically because you're based in Northern Ireland, they're expecting that. But people seem to think it's just a show for Northern Ireland. They don't realise, we have Siobhan there from South Africa. It's bizarre. I enjoyed it. Ironically, as we probably all did, we all probably got a private message from people out there, like, why put us forward, like, and I said, it's nothing to do with us. You nominate, it goes through there. It's all computer selected. I did have a couple of not nasty messages, but just like, well, how is that selected there? How is that selected there?
Bingo.
A couple of other comments that I did get was for things like, again, it's all time constraint, is it? When it's coming up to the best bass drum. Some people saying, but we're voting blind, we don't know what they look like. I say, well, that's maybe something in the future that can maybe be addressed. And then I'm up to watch the Facebook page. You nominate the band, here's the finalists, there's the bass drums.
Someone said that about even best dressed and stuff. People forgot what their uniform looked like, for example. So that could be something we could do, put a photograph up and stuff.
I just find it frustrating, though, that, just about every other second podcast, we don't select. It's all done by the public, and I don't know what you have to do to get through to people without, like screaming blue murder, which I'm sure you do. It's like you must absolutely pull your head out.
Some of the hate mail that we got as a result of it was absolute quality. I've never been called some of these names, and that's why it was really entertaining for me. I've been called some serious stuff over the years, but this one was. It was chef's kiss. So we're going to get into all of that in a future episode of Hater Mail.
Now you know what it's like. Now you know how some adjudicators feel after some contest.
Oh man, don't go there.
No, I'm not yet.
So Siobhan, obviously with yourself there, based in the South African scene, there wasn't too many South African bands or personalities nominated for the awards. But how do you feel that they're looked upon from the South African scene?
I know a few people in my band who follow you and all of that. They did send through a few nominations. I mean, I sent through my nominations as well before I joined the team. So we do see it and we do try our best to get involved. But I mean, again, we don't really know the scene. We don't know what the bass drums look like. I didn't look at people's beards while I was there, but so I can't really speak on that. But I do try my best to get involved and just explore the scene over there.
That's a good idea. It's a good thought, actually. You and Siobhan both, I think you're both right. If we put up photographs of here's Stuart's beard, doesn't it look amazing? Or here's all the bass drums we think are nominated as being cool bass drums. That's a good point. For folk that aren't aware of what, Glasgow Sky uniform looked like, for example, or what North Stratton's drums look like when, for the coolest drums, all of that. So, it's one of those things. I think it's, how we approach it. So I think more images, going forward, Cammy, I'm going to leave the parting word on the Rab Show Awards for you, mate. Any thoughts on the awards at all?
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of good fun, to be honest, more than anything. And I think that's what it needs to be taken as you've reiterated to guys. I mean, for us, I think we won one the year before, like Best Gazebo. We were nominated this year. Yeah. We didn't win. We're like, that's cool beans, it's just a bit of fun. And like other things like Best Beard and all that kind of stuff, it's just, that's what it's for. It's not a popularity contest or anything like that. It's, because there isn't, me and Stuart were talking about this at the Trad Awards, there isn't actually a big pipe band awards show. It's something that we lack in that kind of space. So for you to provide something that it's a bit tongue in cheek, it's a bit of a laugh. But if you do win, it's fantastic. It doesn't really matter. And naturally, wherever your audience is, you will tend to find more nominations and wins in that field. And that's just the way it goes. It's just a bit of crack. So
it's a bit of fun. Absolutely. And that's definitely the spirit in which it is offered. this is a bit of fun, folks. How to carry us through the winter months when it's cold and miserable and we're going to practice 3 nights a week and we don't want to go. It's something like just to carry us through. Some of the categories, though, that we had thought about for this year that didn't make it through, there were some interesting ones, like Best Portaloo. That was going to be an award, Best Portaloos of 2025. Who could that have went to? Who knows? But another category which I think might make it in next year. This is Stuart. You could laugh at this one a bit. Heaviest pipe box. Yeah, I don't know quite how we can, measure that. Heaviest pipe case. Anyway, I don't know. We just throw ideas at the wall sometimes and see what sticks, and that one didn't. But who knows what 2026 will bring? Yeah, I don't know. How heavy is your drum case, Stuart?
It's heavy enough that I need to carry it everywhere.
There you go. You might be in the running next year. You never know. Yeah. Good luck. So, as well as covering like competitions and stuff like that, obviously that's our bread and butter with on the ground reports and all of that kind of stuff. Rab Show Awards and all of that aside, outside of the competitive stuff, we also try and cover things outside the circle, like concerts, charity events, things like that. Anywhere that's going to have a set of pipes playing at it, we absolutely want to be there. One of the big highlights for me personally was the Kids with Cancer night here. And that's obviously a highlight of the calendar because it raises so much money for charity every year. And 2025 was a bumper year for the Kids with Cancer night. So I just wanted to give it a shout out. But I'm going to throw it to JD, first of all. Outside of the circle, we did cover a lot of ground. Was there any particular highlights for yourself outside of the circle with the Rab Show this year?
Find a mute button. I like the Meet the Band series. I think that's something we should expand on for sure.
Yes. Meet the Band's been an interesting dynamic, that one. There's some bands out there that I've never heard of, and their stories are so interesting too. Oh, was that your little one I can hear there? Hello.
Oh, yeah. We're having snack time.
Oh, cool. There you go. I should like Meet the Band. Oh, there we can see our screen. Oh, it's so cute. Hello. Meet the Band. What is it about Meet the Band then, JD, that has you, I don't know, switching on for that one?
I think expand and more geographic diversity. I'd like to hear from some bands down under or South Africa.
Yes. Well, if anything, we've already got some lined up. Yeah, ahead of the Nationals, that'll be happening in a few months' time. We have a number of bands actually down under who's been reaching out to us to, be on our Meet the Band series. So we'll have a number of those lined up. So looking forward to those actually. Yeah, because, there's bands that we are aware of but don't know their story. And then there's those that are a complete mystery. And finding out about these bands and the musicians involved, that's a real cracking series, that one. Yeah. So, Siobhan, I am hoping that you'll be able to line up some bands for us for our Meet the Band series from the South African scene.
Oh, 100%. Yes, I'm very keen to do that. Our scene over here, we're very small, so we only have 26 bands in our fraternity, but we are like highly talented and very fierce and competitive over here. So to actually highlight that, the talent that we have over here, I'm very keen. Yeah, I'll definitely be sending through a lot of bands' names through.
Nice. I look forward to that. I'm also aware that there's some very keen rivalries there. Like there's a lot of bands like to beat each other there in South Africa. Yeah, there's definitely a competitive streak there with the scene for sure.
Definitely. Oh yes, definitely. I mean, this one, it was a very tight race up until our South African champs. And I mean, it's the best band on the day that will win. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. But yes, it's a very fierce competitive scene over here.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, and I can't wait to get into it. That's going to be so much fun. There you go. So, Ewan, what about yourself, mate? Outside the circle, then, we've talked about Meet the Band and everything and how much cool that is. But is there anything else that we've covered this season?
I mean, I do like that. I find it interesting. Meet the Band, as you say, as you know, a topic that came up recently is there's a new Grade 2 band has just appeared. That we don't know nothing about. So things like that, it's good. But then again, see, for me, it's as a former player, been retired 11, 12 years. it's not just the pipe bands on the day. I do like behind the scenes at the Worlds. I do like Pipe and Live because it's bringing a whole different thing, you know. A few things I do like is when you go to Belfast Tartan Day, and you know, so we're seeing other things that bands are just doing, just apart from just turning up on a nice rainy day for a contest. You know, you're actually seeing how they're raising money. Things that I enjoy that sort of thing.
Yeah, how bands are sort of interacting with their own communities. As well. Yeah,
absolutely. How they're building community support and how the community's behind them and things like that. But yeah,
there you go. Yeah. So, Cammy, if anything, that's something that Uddingston Strathclyde have been doing on their social media over this last year. I've noticed that you guys have been highlighting your own work in your community more so now as well as work in the circle.
Yeah, we've been trying to just highlight as much as we're a competitive pipe band, but there are lots of things that come with that as well. So we have a lot of sort of fundraising attempts like gala days and things. We had a band dance recently. There's loads of stuff that we've tried to utilize social media a lot more. And obviously one of the main things over the last few months would be our recruitment drives and things like that. But yeah, like the power of social media and pipe bands, I think, has never been as strong as shown by ultimately the nomination at the Trad Awards. Just digressing back to that, the power of that is paramount now. That's how I think we recruited. I think across the two cores, maybe 12 people or something like that, and almost all of them were through social media.
Wow!
People getting in touch with the band, so it's having that social media presence as a pipe band is massively important, and having outlets like yourself and all the other social media pipe band outlets as well is really important to keep young guys and other people who have never seen pipe bands as well coming into the scene, because we need to keep the numbers as strong as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. So you might think you're being silly when you're doing those TikTok dances, but honestly, you're attracting more players to the scene by doing the TikTok
dance. That's what it's all about.
So it's a necessary evil, isn't it? Yeah. Stuart, then, I want to talk to you about, you've been at quite a number of events for ourselves in the Rab Show this year, like the Livy Invitationals, was Deej McIntosh, we have to give him a shout, but you attended others as well throughout this past year. A few concerts in that as well.
Yeah, the big one at the start of the year was the Fife concert up in Aberdeen, run by Bucksburn District. Again, it's behind the scenes stuff that we can put out on the show. It's fantastic to actually stand on the stage without a crowd, seeing them doing their sound checks, and actually see how the band functions on stage.
Yeah,
it's quite incredible.
It's a totally different animal from competition, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Like a competition, it's one thing that we're all well used to seeing, but preparing for a big show like that, that's a different animal.
Yeah, it is. And like I say, when you're standing there on the stage with them, it gives you a different point of view and a respect for what they actually, how good these performers are. How good of a musicianship that they can put together. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, you and I had the pleasure of sneaking backstage at the Shots concert this year.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
You talk about imposter syndrome. I was like standing on stage at the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall going, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Insane. What was your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Again, you get to see that snippet behind the scenes and the effort that they put into it, and it's pretty incredible what you see. So if we can capture that and give it out to the podcast and YouTube, it must be a win-win.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I have to say there was very little in the way of messing about with both those concerts. Like there was no kind of hanging around and just, talking about the football that night. But nah, it was all go. It was serious amount of work.
Yeah.
So ourselves in the Rab Show, we're very aware of that. And, bands are there to work and prepare and get ready for a big show. So we stand back. We're there with cameras sticking it in people's faces, right enough, but we're back. We know when to clear off. But yeah, I think outside the circle is something that's been a focus of ours this year, and I think it's come across in our coverage. So I don't know. Long may it continue. We'll do our best to cover things inside and outside the circle. Yeah. So, folks, I'm going to wrap things up in a neat little bow at this point, but I do want to welcome brand new team members, of course, to Ewan Much. Of course, Ewan, thank you for joining us this year. Much appreciated.
Great to be aboard.
Yeah, and also to Annabelle Charlton, who can't reach us tonight, unfortunately. She wasn't able to make it. But also to Siobhan. Siobhan Nodier, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to be a voice we're going to hear quite regular on the show now for the next wee while, so we're going to annoy you nothing rotten. Yeah. Yeah. And JD, I hope you recover from your cold, mate. How you holding up, buddy? He's dead.
I'm here. I'm doing all right. I'll be fine.
Good
Thanks
man.
for the concern.
You're quite welcome. I found you were out at a parade yesterday with your bands. I think I've seen photographs of that of you guys on the beach and everything.
Yeah, we had a Christmas parade yesterday.
That looked brilliant.
Of course, being in a tropical climate, it was about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So nice day for a parade.
Whoa. It is lashing with rain where I am right now, and it's freezing.
Yeah, this is our favorite parade of the year. It's a quarter-mile start to finish. Like,
really?
What's
In
that, 100
that
meters?
temperature?
Something? Yeah, it's beautiful. Went to the bar afterwards, played a couple sets. Good time.
Nice. Well, my best to everyone there at the band for sure. And to you, JD, as well. Thank you for all your work this year on Weekly Drones. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So also we were to have Jim Williamson join us as well. He's also our United States correspondent, but he unfortunately was unable to join us as well. I think it might be because the Chiefs are playing right now as we're recording this. But yeah, the Bills are playing as well, and we're getting bait. So yeah, maybe it's a good job I'm here recording a podcast instead of shouting at my TV. All right, folks, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast, a year in review. I'm sure there's been a lot of other stuff that we could have talked about. There's been a wealth of great music this year, and the musicians, I don't know, have always upped their game every season, but 2025 across the board has been kind of ridiculous. I want to talk about the standard of play before we do walk out the door. Ewan, have any thoughts on the competitions itself this year and the standard across the board?
You know, the standard, and even since I stopped playing in 2013, it's like night and day. Night and day. You know, we'd have to talk about Inverary, you know, that final on the Saturday. Yeah. Oh, my word. You know, when even for people that say, I don't like pipe bands, I've heard them saying that was phenomenal. Yeah, and even like the lower grade bands, for example, at the youth championships on the Friday,
yeah.
St. Joseph's band from South Africa, I was so impressed. Never heard of them before, and I'm going to admit, you know, you have the old conception. Oh, here's a band coming off from unbelievable, worthy winners.
They blew their socks off. Yeah, they were amazing.
Oh my, yeah, totally different. Yeah. It's just just that start. Even like the times I've covered when I covered Corby, Chatsworth, the All English Championships, you know, and slightly just touching on what you were saying before about the wider circle seeing it, you know, and I like to say to people, we met as strangers, but we left as friends, you know, and it's nice. And I've already had the Corby Highland Gathering say, "Are you coming back next year?" You know, that's organisers like so, yeah. And it's nice but you do get to see a standard. And for some of those bands there, because we featured them on the YouTube channel, they have grass members. Their bands are growing, so it can only be a good thing. So for me, standards just going to improve all the time, all Absolutely. The time.
Oh, you know, no, that's great to hear.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, and well, we're sending you back to Corby now. Now you've been invited. You're going.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
There you go. Now, Stuart, I think in your grade this year, mate, it's been nothing short of a battle. It's been one of the toughest grades, I would argue, this season.
Yeah, I'm sure Camille will agree. We're putting in the work just now. The winter season is it's been a slog, but we're getting through it. So we have the upper game, and like you say, you've got to get in about it. You know, it's a slog, like you say. 3 nights a week, 2 nights a week. Oh, do I need to go to band? Yes, you need to go band because the guy in the next band's doing exactly the same thing as you.
There you go. Yeah, and if you decide to spend your evening on the sofa, they're getting an extra night's practice that you didn't get.
Exactly.
There you go. So get your backside off the sofa and go to band.
Yeah.
Cammy, have you any thoughts yourself, mate? It has been an ultra competitive year, hasn't it?
Yeah, massively. I totally agree with Stuart, especially obviously ourselves being in 3A, our first time in the grade having been promoted. Um, I think it's one of the biggest grades, I think, at the Worlds. There was 30 bands. Outside of 4B, I think it was one of the biggest.
Wow.
And kind of anyone could have won it on the day. Anyone could have, like, obviously, Ron said more came over and eventually won it, but everybody had a really good performance. Unfortunately, we didn't quite even qualify for the final, but we had a fantastic run, which just kind of goes to show the level of competitiveness at grade 3. There's guys that are desperate to get into grade 2. The bands that have been there for a long time and are just seasoned pros in that grade. So there's loads of great bands, and like so we've had to really start to up our game and try to bring in as much talent as possible, and nurture the guys that have been with the band ultimately since it was in 4B 4 years ago.
Bringing them through all those
you've got to bring
levels,
them through the ranks, and we're glad to have those guys still there. And it's fantastic to see them improving. But yeah, the standard of I can only speak for 3A. Being in the thick of it has been incredible. And getting to watch back, obviously, you've had some great guys who've chucked a camera at some of the 3A contests, being able to watch them back. Because on the day, if you're last on or whatever, you're never going to be able to hear the bands before you. So it's very competitive, but we certainly would hope to keep plugging away. Picked up a couple of prizes last year in 3A, and we shall see what happens. But on all the grades, it's really competitive. Pipe band is in a very healthy place, competition-wise and quality-wise, I would like to think. And we're all just holding our breath for a fifth major. ...
Fingers crossed. Yeah, with a bit of luck. Yeah. So, Siobhan, what about the South African scene then? How have you found standards there in 2025? Do you think have they risen at all?
Definitely, yeah. This year for us was huge. We've had, over the last few years, we've had a lot of international exposure in terms of like people coming over and experiencing our scene and teaching us and just bringing that wealth of knowledge from Scotland down to our little tip of Africa. And that really has helped us grow and try new things, because we very much were living in the old ways of pipe band and this is how 4/4's played and that and that.
Right.
But having this new age of pipe band that's coming in, we have definitely taken it by the reins. And yeah, I mean, just from my band personally, we've tried so many new different things that in the olden days it would have been like, don't you dare try something like that.
Don't do that. No.
No, you could
What's
never.
this? Yeah.
Yes, it's been an insane year for pipe band here, and I think we're just going to get better.
Excellent. Do you want to give your band a shout out then? Who do you play with?
So I play with the Transvaal Scottish, known as the Jocks.
We are
actually the current South African champions in grade 2. It was a long, hard year, but we made it. Yeah,
excellent.
So huge shout out to them.
Absolutely. But you also had the opportunity then to play at the Big One as well. That's another story in itself, isn't it, Siobhan?
Yes, it was such a privilege to get the opportunity to go and actually experience the world. I mean, it's what our little community dreams of going to see, and to actually play in it in the grade 1 arena was just a dream come true.
Big moment. Yeah, but
huge
we'll
moment.
Talk all about that in a future show. There is a huge story there. But everyone, thank you all for giving up your evening this close to Christmas to chat all things 2025. I think as we look into 2026, we already have a road in front of us of so many events happening. We have Celtic Connections coming up. We had a huge announcement about the Kids with Cancer Charity Night, that Pfeiffer playing at it. Just kind of drop that in there before the holidays. And we have the big Pre-Worlds concert coming up, of course. Tons of rumours about that. We also have the Bucksburn District concert in Aberdeen. That's happening as well. So there's so much happening. And that's just the UK scene. Never mind what's happening in the US, New Zealand. There's the Nationals coming up, Australia, all of that, and South Africa, of course, as well. Right, there's so much happening, folks. So if you do want to keep up to date with everything that's going on in the piping scene, please do stick with us, even over the course of the holidays. You might think that us and the Rab Show, we'd take a break over Christmas and New Year's. Nope. The piping world doesn't stop, and neither do we. So we do have some special episodes to bring you, and some big topics to discuss as well. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, do stay tuned with this over the course of the holidays. There's some big episodes of FUT and a lot to enjoy. Everyone, thank you all so much for joining us this week and each and every week. Don't forget to tell your mates about our wee show. And we'll be right back with even more bagpiping goodness next week. So from all of us, a very happy Christmas. We'll see you all again. All the best.
Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com to be kept up to date with all of the latest news and views from around the piping world. And also, check us out on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your hands on tons of extra piping goodness and be a part of the Patreon faithful. So, until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show Podcast. All the best.